Hey everyone, I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Thank you for tuning in, as always, to another episode of the Lyons Den. I'm your host, Richard Lyons, and I'm happy to be here talking about movies and TV and all that fun stuff. And today what I'm going to be talking about is a little movie I saw last night called The Invisible Man, directed by Lyons, starring Elizabeth Moss. I gotta say, going into this movie, I was pretty skeptical because of these past few months, I've been going to the theater and I keep seeing the trailer for it. And every time I see it, I was just kind of like, this trailer is giving everything away. I feel like I know what happens already, like beat for beat, what the story is going to be. And like a lot of people have already been saying, I feel like I have like hair in my eye. I'm sorry. Like a lot of people have already been saying about the movie, that is not the case with the trailers. The trailers honestly do a good job of misleading you into thinking you know what's going to happen in those scenes. And then it plays out completely differently in the actual movie. And I gotta say, I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was awesome. One of the better horror movies and more well-made and unique horror movies I've seen in a long time. The director, Lyons, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce his name. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Okay, stupid hair. He directed the movie Upgrade, and I thought that movie was great. And there was a lot of unique camera tricks I was reading about with that movie where they used a phone for motion tracking on the actors and all this stuff. And they must have gotten better at using this technology because he uses it the same way in this movie where the camera's just like really focused on the actor in frame while there's action happening. And I think this movie had really a little bit of everything. Elizabeth Moss was great. Acting in, and everyone around her was also really good. I mean, no one really puts on an Oscar performance. Maybe her, you could argue, she does really well, Elizabeth Moss, but everyone else, they're good performances, nothing spectacular. But the acting was good, the action was good, the tension was way high up, the twists were all great. The scary parts were scary. There were funny parts. There were WTF moments. I don't know why. What the fuck moments. I don't know why I'm censoring myself. I curse on here all the time. And I don't know why I honestly was doubting this movie because I really liked the last movie by the same director, and he brought it again this time. He brought it times 10. I think this movie overall is probably better than Upgrade. I thought Upgrade left a little bit to be desired. They gave you a really good taste of like action in that movie, and it was kind of few and far between. There wasn't enough, but in this movie, you get everything. I mean, a bunch of unique ways of how an invisible person could ruin your life, and all the different twists. And one thing I really loved, a minor spoiler, was when she first realizes that the Invisible Man is haunting her. He pulls a blanket off of her while she's sleeping, and she goes up to get it. And while she's trying to pick it up, two footprints just step on it, and she's like just looking at this blanket like what's going on. She's trying to pull on it, and then one step, boom, you just see the steps of an invisible person like coming down the blanket towards her, and it's really, really creepy. And they used jump scares in a perfect way. It wasn't cheap, like just loud violin noises while something appears on screen, or just something walking by the foreground of the screen while the main subject doesn't notice what's going on, and then just like a ding, like those in every horror movie about demons. Yeah, but no, the way they used jump scares in this movie was awesome. I really liked how they explained how he could turn invisible. I thought it wasn't like, I mean, I don't know if I want to spoil it for you guys. He wasn't just turning his body invisible. There's a way he turns invisible. It's not like he just like goes in a machine and he himself turns invisible. There is a pretty cool way that they explain it. Not obviously not very realistic, but it was enough for me. They didn't have to go into. I saw some people saying they were complaining that they didn't give enough backstory to her relationship with the husband and why she wanted to leave him in the first place. But I thought they did a good job portraying it just from her emotions. And when you first see him, he's like crashing in a car window to chase after her, so you can tell he's pretty possessive and crazy and abusive. So I didn't think they needed to go into a whole backstory about their relationship and explain this whole thing. Not everything needs to be explained to the very T in every movie. Like you can leave some things up to the imagination. I thought they got the point across pretty well that he was a shitty guy. But yeah, man, I'm really liking this Lay Whannell. And if anyone didn't know, he's also one of the writers of the original Saw, and he's in the movie. He's the one, I don't remember his name in the movie, but he's the one that doesn't cut off his foot. He's the other guy that gets left in there in the end. That's him. He directed this movie. Also has a cameo in Aquaman as the plane driver. Fun little fact for you, because him and James Wan obviously worked together on Saw. I'm pretty sure they're friends, both horror directors. But hey, man, go out and see this movie. If you were skeptical about it, it's a great time, and it's cool to see it in a packed theater, because when the first real big twist comes, I felt everyone in my theater sort of just lock in and be like, "Oh, okay, this is what you're doing here." Like, all right, we're ready for this. And like the whole second half of the movie from that point really just turns it up, and I highly, highly recommend seeing it. Like I said, action is great. It really has a little bit of everything, like thriller, horror, action, funny, everything. Like, and all of it is done so well. All of the scenes with tension are done so well. It's so cool. Like he'll just like be showing like one side of a room with nobody standing there, and it's supposed to be like, you're assuming like the invisible man standing there watching her, and then he'll pan over to her like doing something, and then he'll go to another blank part of the room, and it just like, it leaves you so uneasy. Like, is he standing there? Where is he? Where is he in the room if he is there? Like, what is he doing? When is he gonna strike next? They did really like a lot of really beautiful and cool camera tricks to build up that tension and give you that feeling that she was being watched all the time, but you couldn't tell from where or when or how he was looking at wherever he was. It was really cool. There's one scene in particular. She's in a room and she's in the foreground, but she's out of focus, and it's just like focusing on the back wall behind her. And you're like, most people, I'm not trying to be like a cinephile here. Like, most people won't recognize the focus, whatever, the rack focus, but it's telling you like it's focusing on the space behind her that it's supposed to be. He's standing there, but he's invisible. So it's just a wall, but she's like completely out of focus in the frame. And I noticed they were doing that, and it just all over. I really enjoyed it, and I want to know what everyone else thinks about it. I've seen most people enjoying it, some people not, but everyone I've talked to about it that I know has loved it, and go see it. Very exciting, very fun, and it's 2 hours, but it doesn't feel like it. It flies right by, and I was very happy with it. So Lay Whannell, you are now on my radar from now on until you disappoint me, because Upgrade was a huge surprise, and this was even more of a surprise. And I'm very happy I got to see it. Great job to everyone involved. Go see the movie. That's really all I wanted to talk about today. I didn't have anything else really in mind, but I do want to talk about something for a second. I've been watching The Expanse. Let me say, this show is really good. I watched the first season like over a year ago, and I liked it. And I kind of stopped just because I got kind of busy, and then I never really got back into it. I started watching some other stuff, and whatever. So I finally, a few weeks ago, I started watching season 2 again. And all I hear about the show is each season's better than the last. The production value, the acting, the story, everything better than the last. Crazier and crazier. And it's true so far. I finished season 2. I really liked it a lot. And now I'm on episode 2 of season 3. I can already tell the production value's better. It's looking awesome. I'm excited where they're at right now. I hear a lot of people describe the show as Game of Thrones in space. And I see where that comes from. I see why, if you're trying to get someone into the show that maybe liked Game of Thrones or that type of storytelling, that might be a way to appeal to them and get them to be interested in it. But I want to give a disclaimer for anyone who hears that, or people who tell you that. It's like Game of Thrones in the sense that it's very heavily based in politics. Like early Game of Thrones, a lot of it was politics. Before, it was known for like Battle of the Bastards and big action scenes like that. It was a lot of politics-based, character-driven story. And that's like The Expanse is a lot like that. There's Earth, there's Mars, there's the Belters, these people who live on an asteroid belt. There's tension between all of them. There's governments fighting, and there's little spats in the governments that are going on, like betrayals and treason all around. So stuff like that. But there's no, Red Wedding. There's no Ned Stark in season 1 getting his head cut off. Spoiler, sorry, if you haven't seen that by now. Sorry. It's not like, shocking deaths. Anyone can die at any time. It's not like that. But like I said, in the sense of the political nature and a bunch of different storylines happening at once that are all eventually going to converge. And that's starting to happen right now. I'm starting to see some of the main characters that have not met before, but have interacted but not really met. They're finally coming together, and it's really cool to see. I love the main characters, the crew of the Rocinante, Holden, Amos, Alex, and why am I blanking on her name? Come on, Naomi. They're all great. They're really fun, and I really enjoy it. So if you guys are looking to check out a new show, it's on Amazon Prime. It starts off season 1. It was a sci-fi show, so the show started out on sci-fi, and it went a few seasons, and then it actually got canceled. And Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, was a fan of the show, and he picked it up for Amazon. And he probably gave them a lot of money too to really amp up that production budget. So I'm excited for season 4. I think season 4 was the first done by Amazon. I could be wrong about that, but I'm really excited to watch it. But yeah, the first season, the acting and the production value, it's a little iffy, but it's good enough. And I think the story is intriguing enough. There's enough weird and mystery going on there to keep you hooked. Season 2 gets even better, and from what I've seen of season 3 so far, it's going to get even better. So what everyone's telling me about it getting better and better is completely true. If you're looking for a show to watch, 4 seasons so far on Amazon. Pretty sure a 5th is coming. It's based on a book series, so I think they're going to do the whole thing. And it's really good. I'm really liking it. I'm happy that I finally got back into it. So go check out The Expanse if you're interested in some space drama, space politics drama. And there is battles, there's action. People do die. It's not like completely PG. It's not PG at all. But it's really good. I really like it. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of explain that Game of Thrones comparison before you go in thinking, oh yeah, the main character is going to die in episode 5. Yeah, let's go. Like, no, it's not like that, but it's really good. And go watch it because I want them to continue doing it. So, all right, that's all I got for today. Just wanted to get that off my chest there at the end. But thank you for tuning in as always. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe. And also, we have another show on this channel, which is our main show. It's called The Memo Podcast, and it's me and my good friends Matt Brodsky and Alex Masados. We talk about sports, news in the sports world, stuff that appeals to us. We take questions from people on Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff, and we like interacting with people. So go check that out if you enjoy it. We also got a new website coming. We're going to start putting out articles and a bunch of stuff like that, so keep your eye out. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time.